you're barely in frame. I can keep it. Look, I'm petting Toph.
Oh, God, please don't say that. I do not consent.
Hello. Welcome to Bad at Board Games.
Well, he's bad at board games.
My name's Brad Lake.
And I'm Topher Ferguson.
And we're bad at board games, so you don't have to be like Toph. Although you might want to be like Toph now. And stick around and find out why.
I don't know if anybody wants to be like Toph.
But you've made some progress. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, so some of you guys have commented and asked. You've noticed that I look a little different. I don't know if that's the right thing to say.
Ever-shrinking Toph.
Yeah, I think somebody actually said that. So some of you guys have noticed I've made a few changes in my health over the last year or so. It's been a little bit over a year, but channel-wise, what's been noticeable has been about a year. And so since you guys asked, Brad and I thought maybe we'll just sit down and kind of talk.
Yep. So for those of you who are looking for board game content, this is not it. If you are looking, or you've been around for Toph's journey and watched us for the last couple of years or whatever, you will have noticed a change. And so we're going to talk about the whys, the wheres, the hows, and just
who knows what else comes up,
and answer any questions you may have.
Yeah.
He will answer your questions, and within 48 hours of you posting it.
I will do my best within 24 hours if I can. Yeah.
He's busy.
That is true. That is very true. So
how, you want me to just ask questions?
Well, so I thought instead of just me talking it'd be more fun. Let's just be honest. It'd be more fun to be able to do it
as we go.
Okay, let's not do that.
Can I hug you?
No, you can make fun of me.
Oh, okay.
Don't hug me.
Would you like verbal abuse?
Don't touch me, please. I thought it'd be fun to kind of sit down and just kind of talk about it. And I think you and I spend a lot of time talking.
Right.
We talk a lot on air, but we just kind of talk a lot. And you have been aware of my kind of health and journey and things as we've gone. I've made you aware of this and that. And it's easy. I mean, Brad's like my best friend. Like if I'm going to talk to somebody about, something big and significant going on in my life, then it's going to be obviously Brad. It's also going to be Brad because, well, he has to edit the videos and he's going to start noticing that changes are happening as we go, kind of throughout the year and plus, and who knows how long it's going to take. So, but so to kind of rip the Band-Aid, and what you've probably noticed is that I've lost a lot of weight over the last year. I am down 130 pounds.
That's amazing.
As of the last time I met my doc, which was 2 weeks ago.
And that's just just over 12 months?
So let's see. So I can share this. Some things I might not share on camera, but some things I will. So about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I was just at 400 pounds. So I was 298 pounds, or 398 pounds. Sorry, I kicked your dog. I tried some things on my own. And so transparency's sake, I've done this before. About 10 years ago, I weighed just at 400 pounds and I lost 175 pounds. And then over the course of several years, really up through COVID. So from about 9 years ago up through COVID, I gained all of it back.
Right.
And I didn't quite know where I was. And I'll be honest, I don't know my exact highest what I was. But I did work with some fantastic friends, some of my best friends. You have not met them yet. They've heard about you. You've heard about them. But one of my absolute just closest friends owns a gym, and he's been a part of my health journey from the very beginning and has seen the up and downs and all the things going on. And so they continue to motivate me. Kevin and Kirk just continue on a regular basis. I mean, we talk every day online, just saying hi. Maybe it's a lot more. And so they both really were like, okay, something has to happen. Let's see what we can do. So I did a little bit on my own, and then I ended up going to the doctor, and I went because of some health issues. During that time,
you've also, since we started the channel, you've had a nutritionist.
I have.
You've done other things that were available, on and off, and working out and all of that. So it's not like you haven't been, and learning about portion sizes and everything. Yeah,
and that's been a big part of actually the 10 years.
Well, that's what I mean, but that was even before that was before the 12 months ago.
That was.
So you were trying all these things, and then you were also saying one of the things you discovered is you don't you never feel hungry. You never like
I never feel full.
full. That's it.
Yeah, I feel hungry.
Yeah, you feel hungry, but then when you start, like, so then you don't even realize how much you're eating because the full stomach, or, you know,
the hunger cue
Yeah.
never hits. Yeah, I've known this and I've guessed this because so the first time I lost weight, I did it on my own. I did it through a gym. My friend Kevin he had worked at the gym, but I was really looking to the advice of the owner of the gym, and he was giving me advice that helped me lose a lot of weight.
but he wasn't giving you good advice.
It was not good advice. No, it was not healthy advice. It was advice. It was textbook portions. So like things that were said were correct, and then things that were said were either incorrect or at a wrong time or put together was not necessarily the best. So what I learned by that process of losing a lot of weight is that I knew I could do things. I'm smart. I'm able to learn. I know science. I know math. I understand things like what nutrition is. I understand things like what these numbers mean, like what calories are, what protein mean, like how it works in your body. Like I understand these things. And I kept talking with a nutritionist saying, why? You know, like, why is it that I can't stop eating? Why is it that I can't, like, I can sit down and I can tell her exactly before she tells me what my diet plan should be, what my nutrition should be, but I can't, I'm gaining weight. I'm not losing weight. Why? And what I learned, and I've learned this, I knew it kind of before because they would always say, the health coach, the wellness coach, the nutritionist, even doctor would always say, listen for the hunger cues. And it's like, well, what does that mean? Because I don't hear them. And I guessed what I thought was a hunger cue because I did the whole, well, let's try smaller plates. Let's try this, portion control. And nothing was working.
Yeah.
And that had to be a reality I had to learn. And what I've actually learned now within the so from September to now to present, which it's November, so that's a year and a couple months, is that my body really does not actually feel the hunger cue. Like,
Doesn't feel full.
It doesn't feel full. So I will eat until I'm about to throw up. And that's a reality I had to learn. And now I have to learn how to live with that. Right. And what to do with that. And there's some meds and there's some things that have helped with that process. But that was a big part of the issue. It also kind of mentally finally coming to the decision, it's time. I have to do something. I've always had goals. I've always said, this is a reason why I want to lose weight. This is a reason why I want to get healthy. The first time I started losing all this weight 10 plus years ago, I was finally an uncle. I wanted to be around for my nieces and nephews. And if I had my own children, like I wanted to have longevity. I wanted to be healthy. It wasn't finally just for me. It was also for others. But I never mentally came to the decision I have to do it for me. I said it, but I never believed it. And it took my primary care doctor really actually honestly saying, you need weight loss surgery. And I went in for an issue where I've got venous insufficiency. My leg was swelling. It was very painful, and my veins weren't pushing blood back up to my heart. And I went in for that reason. And she said, I know what it is, but you need to lose weight. And that's the biggest issue. And I'm not doubting her. She's smart. She's good. But what scared me was when she said, you need weight loss surgery. And I was like, no, I don't. It's a lot. It's difficult. It's hard on your body. I've known many people who have done it, and only one of them has not gained all the weight back.
Yeah, a lot because they don't have
there's no aftercare. There's no
it's like
and there is, and it can be successful for people, but I knew me, and I knew that if I didn't have that support structure that was helping me before and after to really get the behavioral changes along with the weight loss, that it was going to again come all back. I lost 175 pounds. I gained all of it back. I was afraid that would happen again.
Right.
And your body, I don't know how much you know about weight loss surgery, but your body goes through major changes, chemical changes. Like you have to eat different for the rest of your life. You have to have certain vitamins that you can't produce anymore, that you take supplements for the rest of your life. And there's things like that that kind of scared me. And I've got a very good friend who did it successfully and is fantastic, but I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
So that was kind of start of it. That brought me to September last year. And my brother actually had been going to a doctor and had lost a lot of weight. And he and the rest of my family have been saying, please go see the doctor. And finally, it took me several weeks. Actually, it was a couple months after seeing my doctor that I finally went to my brother and I said, okay, what's the doctor's name? Like, who is it? I need help. And it's been a fantastic journey. I've had to learn a lot about my life. I've had to learn a lot about what helps me be successful. And I've learned what helps me be successful is not what might help you be successful. So if you're watching this saying, what's the advice? I don't have that for you. Because what works for one person may not be the same.
Well, seeking professional advice.
That is my advice.
That would be the best.
Yeah,
right?
is find a doctor. Like, so not to say I don't have advice, but don't do what I did necessarily. Like, that's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is come to a conclusion that see a doctor. And that goes for anything. That goes for anything.
Yep.
And I think one of the Brad and I.
So what started? We'll go ahead and say what started really making an impact. You went to the doctor and go ahead and say the name of the.
Yeah. So, well, and there's quite a bit of things that the doctor has identified. So the doctor that I went to, she was located at a practice here in town, and it's a weight loss clinic. And now she is a primary care physician. She has a master's in nutrition, I think one in obesity science. She specializes in obesity healthcare, but fantastic. She's the DO, a little bit more holistic of an approach. And she immediately knew. Now, one, she knew my brother.
Right.
So there's medical history that she already had.
And that allowed you to actually get into the program sooner.
It did. Yeah. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, that really did. Because I told you this.
Because I just realized that like some of these things you may have to wait 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 months or
years.
Yeah.
The clinic that I was initially at, when I called, they told me it'd be about a year wait. There were 300 or 600 some patients who were waiting for their first appointment. But they had said, how do you hear about us? Like, why'd you call now? And I said, well, my brother actually is a patient of this doctor. And they were like, oh, hold on. And they got me in within like a month.
Yeah. So the referrals. So when you know if somebody's already in and like, I guess there's a bit better success rate is what you were saying when, the referrals come in versus just like the cold calls.
Yeah.
And that's why they will prioritize somebody that is, a brother or family member or something like that. And
I think you called that right there because a big part of this is support.
Yeah, I don't think it's like you're jumping the line.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but at the same time, it's somebody's already doing it. This is starting to exist, so there's a better success rate.
And I think so. Like what I've done. It might be a little different journey for somebody else, but in essence, it's probably going to be something similar. I met with a doctor who's not just primary care. So she said, let's look at you as who you are in the form of why are you gaining weight? Why do you want to lose weight? What's your goal? How can I help you get that? And then what could work for you? And for me and my brother, actually, we are both taking the same, or we were taking the same type of medication. And so I was put on first a medication called Mounjaro, which is a diabetes medicine. So it's approved for type 2 diabetes. It is similar to Wegovy and Ozempic. And honestly, I forget which is which.
And you were getting pre-diabetic with some
I was right at that line. Yeah. In fact, at one point, I could have been diagnosed as diabetic because my doctor had said, oh, this is your level. When my dad's diabetic, I knew it was coming in my line. But I was so afraid of getting diabetes. And actually the reason why the venous insufficiency I went to the doctor was because like feet is a big thing. There's a lot of issues that diabetics can have with feet. And I thought, oh my God, that's what this is. And she had said, you are a diabetic. And I was so afraid of it. She said, I don't have to put it in your notes right now, but know that your numbers are going to show that. And I had lost a little bit of weight. And so when I had the blood work done 6 months or whatever later, it showed that I was right there, but I could easily be not diabetic or diabetic. Like it could go both ways.
1 point over, 1 point under.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the medicine was appropriate for 2 reasons. I was right there at that level. And I will tell you that medicine normalized my blood sugar. It normalized A1Cs. Like it normalized my sugar. And that's fantastic. That's what it's for. But a side effect of it is weight loss. And so it's helped with that. Now, it's also helped with other things. Like you had brought up the feeling of full. One thing that some of these drugs do is that it slows down digestion and it slows down like some of the ways that the hormones and chemicals in your body work. And I don't know all the science behind it. I know a little bit more than I'm sharing because we could be here for 15 hours, but at the same time, I don't know it all. But what it did for me, and a lot of people notice this, is it gives you that cue, that hunger cue or fullness cue. And I never felt that before. So let me tell you how weird that is. Like, you normal people. It's weird. It's weird. And so that was a big thing. And it helped me learn how to say my body's now full instead of overeating. But I am diagnosed as severe binge eating disorder. And that is a thing that I have to learn how to live with. And that makes sense with some of the other things that she and I have been working on in my life.
Right.
Trying to figure out how to, what I say is be normal. And that's not really the word I want to use, but how to live healthy.
Or just be able to have body cues that say, okay, you don't need this now or whatever. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not a reason to get the large and finish all of it, even though you don't think. Now, there's also a mental side of it that I have to learn through, and that's the binge eating side of my brain is telling me I want more, even though my body is saying no. And so it doesn't help with this medication. I've got some other things that I'm working on that's helping, and we've changed medications. You know, we've had several different things that we've tried that haven't worked, and a couple things that have worked that we're continuing on. A big part of this is also really trying to learn how to eat properly. So it's not just, okay, here's some meds, you know, make this work, but I meet regularly. In the beginning, it was every other week, and then it was every third week. Now it's about every month, 5 weeks, something like that. But
taking the Manjaro.
No, meeting with my doctor.
Oh, meeting with your
meeting
doctor.
with the doctor.
Got it.
Yeah. And and even Manjaro, at a point we stopped that, and I've tried some other things. And so I'm not currently taking that medication at the moment. But it's every single time we meet, it's okay, well, what are you eating and how's it going? Or is it like, I was having moments of being, I'm getting personal now, but of sharing. I had a lot of moments where my thought, maybe this is mental, maybe it's just me thinking I need to lose weight. I would stop eating, and having an atypical anorexia diagnosis. This is really personal, you all. I never understood what was going on with it, but my body, for some reason, either I eat too much to the point that I'm going to be sick, or I don't eat anything.
You start
I don't
starving
know the
yourself.
in between.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't think I'm physically like purposely trying to starve myself, although that has been a thing I've done in my past. I've tried that in high school. I tried that in college. Like, I've had moments of doing that to try to lose weight. It's sometimes I forget, and I was passing out in the gym. I was passing out randomly, like middle of the day, afternoon, and I'm in my office and I'm pretty much laying on the floor like, what's going on? I don't understand this. And, you know, being in classrooms and going from one to the next and not eating in between, and then feeling drained for some reason, you know, those are weird things to have to work through. And so to sit down and say, this is what I've eaten. Yes, I made sure I did. Yes, I put into plan a way to notify me that I need to eat. You know, a Google alarm that goes off saying, have you eaten lunch yet at 3 p.m. just to make sure that I have eaten lunch. And so little things like that. So behavioral changes have had to take place. Learning about nutrition from a not science point is weird, because I know science and I trust science, but learning how to put things together and say, you know, it's okay. Classic example. I spend a lot of time here on Saturdays. We film, we game, we hang out. Like, that's our day to hang out, Saturday. But on Saturday evenings, I work. I lead walking tours. And so I have to leave here and I go to the tour. There have been times that I'm like, I had to stop at fast food and get something to eat because I felt like I was going to pass out driving. And then I've got to go walk for 3 hours talking the whole time. I can't do that. I'm going to pass out. And so I stopped, and I remember one time I stopped at Chick-fil-A or McDonald's. It was a place that I got a fried chicken sandwich. I got 2 of them, and I ate both of them. And I felt so guilty for it. And she was like, why? Let's look at your numbers. Like, you didn't overeat. Yeah, you had more fat than you probably should because of the grease, but really you had a whole lot of protein, which I hit my numbers. I had carbohydrates, which are good. They're not bad, in moderation, all in moderation. And she was like, you ate like a normal person. Like, you ate like your body needed you to eat. So you ate. It wasn't you ate for a plan. It wasn't an overeating, undereating. It was
You didn't get 5 chicken sandwiches.
Exactly. Yeah, I got 2. I ate both, but I needed them because I hadn't really eaten all day. And so I did what a body needed. I ate. And so those are the type of changes that I've had. And I'm still learning. I'm not good at it, but I've had to learn what to do. I had to learn what to do when Brad sits here and Anxiety Brad comes out and he gets a massive bag of Reese's cups, which are like one of my favorite things in the world. I don't gravitate towards sweets, but when it's Reese's cups, I do. And it's like, what do I do? Oh, I can eat them. I'm allowed to. It's not that she's putting rules. She's teaching me how to learn how to eat. And that's helped a lot. I think the biggest thing also, I mean, there's a lot of changes that I have to learn and there's things I'm going through.
But you've had blood work. You're getting the right vitamins. You're getting the right, I wouldn't say supplements. They're prescription.
Yeah.
You're getting prescription shots that aren't Manjaro. You've been off Manjaro for 6 months? 4 months?
It's been about 4 months. Now I have replaced that with some other things. So I went a period of time with nothing. And
right.
I've replaced it with some other things that are helping me get that hunger cue feeling back again. That's not the same. It's so like we're trying things. Yeah. And yeah, there are things I'm taking that's supplementing what my body does not have or produce naturally to help give me energy, which you've probably noticed.
To get all the right levels.
Exactly. Yeah. Because like looking back at some of our beginning videos, I can just tell, obviously I can tell weight wise, I look different, but energy wise and like, I've never had a problem sitting down talking to people. I have entertained.
God, that's so true.
It really is. I've worked theater, I've acted, I've done behind the scenes, I am a teacher, I've been in education 20 years, I am a professional storyteller, I lead walking ghost tours in town. Like, I know how to talk in front of people, and I'm not the best at it. I'm not, like, great at it, but I've never had a problem with it. But I can tell, looking at my energy and composure on videos a year or two ago compared to now, a massive difference. And you probably have too if you've been with us for a while. But
and some of you have even commented on it while we're doing this video.
Yeah. And it's, there's a lot to it. If you are thinking of losing weight, if you're thinking of getting healthy, if you're thinking of, I've got something else, maybe it has nothing to do with weight, but it's a health thing and you want to learn how to get healthier, find a doctor and then also find support and don't be afraid to talk with your friends about it. There are things that I'm not going to share with everybody because it's my life. It's personal. I'm an introvert. I don't like people. I like board games and ghosts.
There you go.
But when I decided to go see this doctor, other than asking my brother, hey, who's this doctor? Brad was the first person I told. And your wife actually, I think, was there from some of the earlier, not the beginning, but from the earlier conversations. You guys weren't married yet, but it was enough that it was like, Ara, I need to share this with you too, because this is a change that I'm making. And Ara is the type of person that if you're sitting down in a room, she's going to do whatever she can to make you feel wanted and comfortable and like she wants you there and to be a part of the family. And she's going to make you espresso and cookies. And no lie, she has actually sat down and baked brownies like when I've come over, just Brad and I to play games. Like she's the type of person that wants to do that. And she has never once said, I'm not going to support you. She's never once said, I'm going to also not try to tempt you, but she's never also just said, oh, you're losing weight. I'm not going to offer you anything ever at all.
Right.
Like, and that's the type of support that I needed was the friends that I love to say, we want you to be healthy, but we want you to be happy. Let's support you being you and hitting goals that you need, not being unrealistic. So I've got a few pockets of friends that I've really been open with and have found incredible support with. And it's, I mean, Brad tells me all the time, he's like, dude, you look good. What are you talking about? Like, I still think like I'm 400 pounds. I'm at 270. I've got another probably, 40 pounds maybe or so to lose. I'm not at a way that I am thinking I need to do it fast like I was doing. Now it's a long-term sustainable, let's see what we can do. And I've got to get my mind to learn how to do that. And I think becoming healthy mentally, physically, all plays into it. I think there's a lot of you guys that are watching that probably are in a similar point of maybe thinking we need to maybe be more comfortable talking about things like, I don't want to say mental health, but like mental health, like I think as a hobby, this is a hobby that is very much sedentary and we get into our clique with just a small group of friends. I think a lot of us are introverts. I think I can say that as a stereotype, but I think a lot of us really kind of are. And it's hard to break that norm. It's hard to say, hey, let's not just talk about, the games we like, but hey, I'm going to make serious changes in my life. I don't know what's going to happen with it. And it might be weird. It might make me sick. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I've got to do this and I want you to know. And Brad immediately was just like, okay, this is awesome. Like, what can I do? And that it's been great.
And I guess the other thing to just realize from my standpoint, because I may look skinny to some people, but I've lost 20 pounds and it's not a race. One of the biggest things, like, you lose a pound a week. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, that's 20 weeks. And you're going to lose less as the time goes on. So if you start out losing a pound a week, you're going to end up losing a half pound a week. That's still progress. So, like, just realize, like, it takes a long time. Anybody that's telling you, hey, you're going to lose all this weight in like a month, it's always going to be slow and steady, because then that's consistent. That you can continue that after the fact. So
it is. And I mean, a pound or two, fine. If you want to lose it fast, that's fine too. Find a doctor and work with the doctor. I think I tried it without, and I put some very serious health risks into my life by listening to advice that was not medically sound. Like, for example, weighing 400 pounds and being told to eat 1,350 calories max a day.
Yes, you should be only reducing by 200 calories a week. Or no, 200 calories a day. It's 150 or 200 calories a day.
It depends on your metabolism.
Depends on your maintenance, where your current maintenance is. So you were probably eating like 3,000 a day.
So when I did my initial metabolism check in September with this doctor, my resting or maintenance calorie intake was 3,200 calories was my weight loss.
Yeah.
So I was like 3,800 calories a day I could eat to maintain, or 3,600 to maintain.
Right.
And so I ate a lot less than that. In fact, I ate too little and I got yelled at for it.
Yeah.
For about 6 months straight, my doctor yelled at me for eating too little. But it's...
Yeah, maybe it's 500 calories less a day. I don't remember what it is.
500 calories less a day is the standard. But it depends on...
But you can lose weight
things.
at 200 calories a day. You can lose weight at 100 calorie deficit a day, but you have to keep track of it.
And it's not always just calories. And that's one thing that I have had to learn, is that there's a lot more to this. There's a reason why nutrition is not a bachelor's degree. It's a master's degree, because there's so many nuances to every individual person and what goes into it. And it's a weird journey. And for me, I eat a lot of dairy now, a lot of dairy. I used to make fun of Brad. I still do. We make fun of each other a lot, but I used to make fun of Brad because Brad ate yogurt all the time. Like, all the time. Brad would have a bowl of yogurt with granola on it. And
still do.
I'm sure you do. Yeah. I have always liked yogurt, but I never thought about it to that extent, like to have it like in the evening. Like, I crave savory foods, not sweets. I eat sweets, but I really don't care for them like savory food. Like, give me chicken wings, I'm going to eat the you-know-what out of chicken wings. Give me a piece of cake, I'm going to probably finish whatever's on my plate, but I'm not going to enjoy it as much. Ice cream, though, downfall. We made that mistake once. We went and got ice cream and we ate the whole pint. But...
Each.
Actually, we did get we got 2 quarts, and I think we both ate like a pint. But like, I eat because of the protein level I can get from it. I don't have a reaction to dairy that's negative. I eat yogurt, cheese, and drink milk.
There you go.
All day long. It's so funny. But I feel like I'm doing well. You guys have seen that. I feel good. I've gone from wearing 5X clothing to this is a 2X, and it actually almost feels like it's getting to the point of it's comfortable, but maybe it's going on the verge of being too big. You bought me a t-shirt at Gen Con this year. Last year, it was before Gen Con.
Like
Ari got
4X?
us t-shirts. Yeah. So the first t-shirt we didn't get at Gen Con, but Brad and I both, Ara made white t-shirts, or maybe you did, I don't know, but it had the
Board
logo
Games.
on it. and it was a 5X, and it didn't fit when I first got it. And then it finally did. And then all of a sudden it didn't at all. And then went to Gen Con, and you had got me a t-shirt, and it was a 4X. And this year he sent a picture. He's like, which one do you want? And I was like, oh my God, I don't know, because what size? And so I was like, well, I'm kind of a 3X, and he got a 2X. And I was like, oh my God, that's never going to fit me. And it did. Now I wasn't comfortable to wear it kind of out in public, like sitting down where my weight kind of lies makes it hard to wear something that's fitted when you're standing. But it fit, and now it fits well. Like it was like, wow, holy cow! Like, okay, this is interesting. You know, I see myself every day, and especially these last couple months, I've been in school. I've not been able to watch our videos or anybody's videos really, so I've not seen it. I've not seen the change. And you keep saying it, I don't believe it, and so I'm gonna go watch this video to see compared to.
Go watch your very first Cthulhu.
I know.
That's May Die video.
Yeah.
Way back then, in the old house, and.
Yeah. So
5 backgrounds ago, whatever it was, I kept changing things. But
that's my journey. I don't know. Did you have something else to talk about?
No, I think we've been talking an hour. For a while. Yeah. So what do you guys think? I think I'm very proud of Toph. I think he's done an awesome job. I think he looks great, and you're feeling a lot better and more energy and all those fun things that go along with it. So hopefully you enjoyed hearing this, and. If you say anything bad down in the comments, I will delete you. Don't be a jerk.
You can. Well, no. I mean, I'll be honest. I ask away questions if you have them. I'll be happy to answer them. And in transparency to understand me and answering questions, I have for the last almost 10 years now. No. Yeah, almost 10 years now. A faculty member that I'm good friends with at the university that I work at, she is a behavioral scientist. She's got a PhD in exercise physiology and specializes in health behavior change. And she's been a part of understanding this journey the whole way too. And one of the things that I've done every single semester is talk to her health behavior change class. And I have yet to have them ask a question that I've not answered. That's not to say that publicly on YouTube I'll be as open. They have all signed HIPAA agreements, yeah. But if you have questions, ask them, and if I'm not going to answer them, you'll find out. I'll talk around it. I don't welcome hate of any kind, and that's not me. You can hate me all you want or be mean to me all you want, but not to anybody else. So I think what Brad's saying makes sense. There's some controversy around the way that I've chosen to lose weight and the way that others have. But what I've learned and what I continue to learn is that all of us are different, and all of us have to find what works for us. And that might be that you don't want to get healthy, or you do, and that doesn't have to do with weight. That could be anything. So I think the community we have seems supportive. They have been, of the fact that 2 idiots get on camera and talk all the time. So yeah, me. So ask away if you want to, and if I don't answer it, there's a reason why. I'll tell you. I'll answer something. But I'm not expecting you all to have to comment anything at all. I'm doing this for me, and so hope that it's helped you guys. Give a little bit of information why I've been shrinking in size, and that's kind of me. My name's Toph.
Yep. And for those of you who got this far and have no idea that this is a board game channel, if you're interested in board games, hit subscribe. This is not normally what we talk about.
No.
But we've enjoyed this part, so hopefully you have too.
Yeah.
And just remember, no matter what your journey, whether it's health or board games or anything,
enjoy whatever you're doing and find the success and happiness in being who you are and who you want to be.
Have a great night.